And so, let's get to it. I won't explain the rules, because if you want to know more about the rules, watch my first game. And I'll create a playlist as I get more. So, if I go to settings, well, that's good. Okay. Trying to think of okay versus. I'm gonna play the computer again, but I beat the computer in my first video with regular. There's aggressive strong and there's balanced strong. So I guess I'm gonna go with balanced and see, because I already beat regular. So if I can beat balanced, then we'll try aggressive as the last one. I want to lose more games so I can understand, how to do well. So I'm just, figuring this out. So let's do it. Okay. And I'm wait again. As I did in the first game, I think castling early is just super important. So do not let your king be in check early on. So, okay. Let's go ahead and defend the pawn he's attacking. Okay. I like to do regular chess until something interesting happens. Or I want to get my king to safety before I do any crazy time travel. That's my kind of strategy right now. Because I think because this is the main what do you call it? The main. See, it's not a good move in regular chess. It says balanced strong, but once we add all the other dimensions, for all I know, this is a good move. So, okay, let's get the king castle. Then I'll think about time travel. See, okay, look at that. Rook comes here. Rooks are worth more than bishops. This is we're playing just regular chess right now. I'm gonna take that I'm gonna take the rook, which is worth 5 points in regular chess, and the bishop's only worth 3 in regular chess. And now I'm gonna castle. So I think he's already screwed up a lot. Okay, now that my king is safe and I've actually won a piece, I want to think about how can I start attacking the king. Especially if he's not going to castle. He still is 3 moves away from castling. If I start beating the computer on a regular basis, I'll have to start playing humans. So that'll be more fun. That'll be fun to record for future. Alright, time travel is just so trippy. And it's hard to know where to go back. You have so many options to go back to. I really want to go back and attack kings. But his king is still relatively safe. So, that's my friend. He wants to play Rocket League with me. So, yeah, he's just not making good moves in regular chess. He hasn't gone back in time yet, so as far as I know, it's when to go back in time. That's the hard part. And I can only send it to a whiteboard since I'm the white pieces. So I want to see an exposure in his king. See, I don't see the need of time travel if I'm already kicking ass on the main board. Once he does it, though, I might have something else to consider. During the knight, get some action going on this board. Knight down. So yeah, I'm gonna trap this knight. I'll go ahead and trade this off. Okay. His king is... I want to weaken his king. I'm surprised he hasn't gone back in time yet. So... I want to see an opening. This F7 pawn is very weak. If I could now that it's weak, this will become the pass in a few moves. And then I can send a queen back in time or something. I don't know. Bishop there. He takes. I take. So far, this is all regular chess so far, but he's been playing not so great moves. So, okay. Hand threatening this undefended pawn. That would attack my queen. So I'm going to get this other rook in the game. Ah, I forgot about that pawn. It's all good. I kind of want to go back and... Okay, now... See, what's funny is now that I feel like maybe I screwed up a little bit. Not a big deal. Just a pawn here. Or maybe starts eating a bunch of pawns. I want to... My queen is already here. I don't have... all my bishops are dead. I want to send a bishop or another... Oh! Send the queen back in time. Alright, let's take a look. This is where I want... this is now where I want to... We're both starting to attack each other. History view. So, for example, if I want to move this queen to another history view, look how far back I can go. Eventually, yeah, I can't go straight back because there's a copy of me, but the diagonals all the way. Dude, oh, that'd be so tight. I can capture the pawn check in the past. Wait, how does that work again? Because if I attack a knight, if I attack a king in the past, can he change the past? I mean, you might be thinking, oh, this king can eat me. It's going to be a really good move or a really bad move. Like, it's either checkmate or I'm going to lose a queen. If I'm not understanding the rules about checking in the past. But if I were to send that queen all the way to kill this pawn, it's check in the past, which creates a new timeline. But unless he can kill me on that, let's take a look again. So, oh, I killed bishop. Okay, boom, boom. Take the pawn in the past, creates a new timeline. He would kill my king in the new time. He would kill my queen in the new timeline. It's not defended here. I'd rather... Maybe I should only send it back one move where I'll have two queens. I don't want to send it here and he eats me here. Not this board. Because my queen's under attack. I'm curious if I eat the pawn, it's check in the past, and unless he has a piece I can kill. So I'll be killing this pawn here. Yeah? Oh, do I still have the queen selected? Looks like it. Why is it doing that? Why? Okay. Oh, I have the queen selected, so I can... It gives me the visual representation. That's cool. I can have the little ghost queen. See if I like where it goes. I do want to eat this pawn, and it's check, and then he can't eat... The alternate timeline, the queen dies, but is it checkmate because he can't kill... This king can't, in the past, cannot move. To my understanding of... That's the one thing I'm still kind of confused about, is checking in the past. He would have to be able to kill that on that square with a different piece. If I look at his piece, that's where I have trouble visualizing his boards and teleporting. If he can teleport to this square with another piece, then it's a bad move. His boards... Like how do his bishops move? If I deselect, the downside is okay. Let's look at the history view again. So his history, it's easy to look at your history because the arrows will guide you and tell you where you can move your pieces, but it won't tell you where your opponent can move their pieces. Or what's this? Wait a second. Oh, you can flip perspective. Black's on the bottom. And then when I do history view, can I... But that's just his view on the bottom. Can I do his view through time? That's where I'm not sure. No, flip it back. So, history view. And this queen, remember, selected, can go all the way back in time and kill this, see? Yeah, kill this pawn, which is checking this king in the past. The camera will move out. Okay, you see this pawn right here? So, creates a new timeline, the queen dies. But if it's, but can you get, but does he have a piece? It has, you can send pieces in the past, you can't send, and it has to be, oh yeah, if he's going to send a piece in the past, it has to be on the most recent board. We're still on one timeline only. You can't pick any board. Yeah, I only have to worry about him killing me on the most recent board. The most recent board will not have my queen there. But it's, if you look at all of his pieces, his bishop diagonally can't go back that far. It's not on the right diagonal. It can go diagonal like it changed. See, they changed colors. I wish I could see the bishop, way the bishop moves. I'm gonna do it. This is all about experimenting. I can do a new game if this is bad, and I might still win the game anyway. So let's do it. It might be checkmate. Let's just see if that works. Queen takes pawn in the queen checks in the past. It looks like kamikaze, but is it checkmate? Drum roll, everybody. Let's see if this is a good move or a bad move. Whoop! Wait a minute. Okay, that was a little over dramatic. And I thought it showed the black queen down here, like about to kill me or something. But looky here. So I get to see what it looks like, and my queen will die. But is it checkmate in the past? Because he can't kill it. I think it is. Yes. I think I just won. No, I did not. What the shit? Okay, now I'm really confused. Ah, what the? Well, that was probably a really bad move then, since I had to figure out what the rule was. Going back in time, check. He saves it. Okay, this makes more sense to me. I'm kind of glad I didn't win because I'm trying to understand the rules and I want the rules to be fair. And so, but I was experimenting. It was check in the past, creates a new board, and he kills me like I anticipated. But it's the strangest thing. So I'm a little screwed, I think. He didn't do anything on the. Oh, it's still his move on this board. He already passed. This is the future now. He doesn't have to move on this board until he wants to. And my knight's not defended because my queen disappeared. So I may have just screwed myself over for this game, but I was trying to figure this out. So it's my move on this one. Okay, well, I'm kind of disappointed. I mean, like I said, I didn't want it to be checkmate because I didn't want that to be the rule, but I'm trying to figure out the rule, so like I said, it was going to be a really good move, a really bad move, and I guess it was a bad move. My queen is dead, and now that future board is really screws out a queen. Unless I can send another queen. You can send pieces into the future, I think, so. So at this. I'm not even considering the other dimension yet. Hold on. Undo move. So now I have parallel views. I have to move on this board, but for example, I created a time. Okay, so I screwed up on one timeline, or two timelines now, but I can create another third timeline. These two are almost the same. Oh, the knight went back. Alright, I'm gonna go here. Just extra queen support. Create a new timeline. Check it out. See what happens. Alright. So this timeline I'm screwed. But I'm creating a timeline now where I have 2 queens and I'm going after the king again. Yeah, you could. There's redemption in this game because you can change what happened. Oh, I have to submit my move. Okay. Oh, that's not good. I don't know. Oh, the queen retreated. Nah, she's got 2 queens on this. He's got 2 queens on this board, and this is an alternate board where he hasn't taken my bishop yet. My bishop's alive now. This is where it's getting so confusing. It's my move. I have to move on this new one, and it's my move in the future over here where I want to kick some butt. Take a look over here. History view. Parallel. So for example, I have 2 queens. And that was kind of, I think it was kind of dumb of him because this, now I got 2 queens and he has 0 queens on this board. This is the board I'm going to go for the win. While he went in the past, created a new future where he's got 2 and I got 1, but now my bishop's alive again. So I think I screwed up and he screwed up. So it's all good in the hood. So start. I always want to consider parallel views too. Like, what can I do? The problem is once you travel back in time again, you create another universe. I might just be happy just playing this. If this is winning for me on this board alone, I might be happy just playing one, regular chess for a sec. Start advancing some pawns. Screw it. Okay, oh, that's the future. Future boards are optional. And I have to move on the present, which he created. The new present. Well, I can save my bishop. Where can it go? This bishop can actually go to a lot of places. Maybe instead of retreating it, which is passive, make it go to another board. I can kill, let's see. I'll just go back and kill his knight. Oh, it's getting complex. Now it's no longer my move on any board. That's on the present. I made my move on one, create a new one. Alright. He's thinking. Computers don't think. They just know. Okay. That's the only thing he did was this. Moving his knight back. Unless he has plans to move it to another dimension, it's just moving your... I have to remember it's not regular chess, but... Nothing really happening on this board. What about the new one I created? Oh, it's his move. I created it and killed it, but he has no unless the president shifts back. This is kind of a dead end, but it could be important later. It all could be important if it exists, past, present, or future. It's important, and it's his moving on a lot of boards. He's not moving on a lot of boards, so I have one board I can only choose here. So, what about knights? I really want to attack f7. If for those of you who don't play regular chess, f7 is the bishop, king's bishop's pawn for black. This is f7, and this is f2 for white. It's the weakest pawn on the board in regular chess because it's only protected by the king. This bishop can. Oh, this is a knight. You can go a lot of places though. This king is actually exposed. I sacked the queen in the past, which was kind of bad in it, but maybe it's good because this king is no longer. This king has not castled, and it is more centralized. Like, I gotta be thinking about that one. That's the board where his king is more centralized. So if I can send a piece over there and start attacking, it would be kind of sweet. So I'm gonna king safe. Let's send a rook back, maybe. What about this rook? Deselect. Rook. My rooks haven't moved much, so they can't go through each other is a problem. Yeah. I would like to. I want to get an extra rook over here or something, but I would need to move it over one. Then I could shift it back. But then this is the pass. Oh, this board's gonna become. Are you gonna take my queen again? This is getting. I think. Just keep advancing. Select. Submit. It's his move on 5 boards, but 3 of them are on the 2 of them are on the present bar. He's obliged to move 2. I wonder if the computer will move in the past or the future, or will they never do that? Well, let's see what he did. He pushed a pawn, which I think weakens this diagonal on the king. And then he... Yeah. So... I gotta move here. Maybe I can get this rook out of the way, so that I can send this rook. Yeah, shuffle this rook over and then move the other rook through time. I think I can do that, or it becomes. I guess you gotta time that right. Like I should have done it in the last move, so the space would be open. Because if I do it now, yeah, it's on the new board. But then I have this other rook. Yeah, let's try it. Or no. He's exposing his king. I want to trade and open up the center. Open up the center because he hasn't castled. That's 1. He can't even take back with a pawn because it'll be check. He takes with this. I really want to drop something to attack. Can I? Like the knight. Knight. Parallel view. I want to go after the king. Which king to go after? Not this one, because it'll create a dimension where it's his move, and then he kills the queen, and my queen's under attack in this one because I ate. This is a hard game. I'm gonna send I'll send the knight here. Which knight was I doing again? This one here. So it's going 2 over and 1 back in time. So if you look at the history view, this knight here, 2 over, back. Then I got 3 knights on this board. Let's do it. And now, although, no, maybe I use, It's like I need to send more pieces on this board. But no, it creates a new timeline. The king is still exposed here. I want to get a lot of pieces sent to this timeline and just start attacking this king in the center. My king's pretty tucked away and he's not being aggressive. I'm not playing the computer aggressive on the aggressive difficulty. So I guess that's it. That's my move. That wasn't my move. Only board where it was my move. So submit. He's got to move on 3. And I'm guessing he won't move on the other 3. Of course, anything can surprise me because there's no way I'm considering everything. But I'm telling you my thought process. There's just no way to see everything, but I guess the more you play, a lot of this is a little chaos. Okay, what just happened? Traveled a bishop back in time. So now it's like attacking my knight, but whatever. And then now we have another one without the... Oh, he took a pawn. Okay. And now this is the new one without... It's my move on 3 boards. Ooh-wee. I could push the pawn up one check, forcing the king out in the center. The more kings he has in the center, I think it's the better for me. This king's already out in the center. Oh, he forked my 2... I was distracted with other things, so now this knight move is a good move for him. He's attacking 2 rooks. He's going to kill 1 rook for a knight, so good for him. This one I got 2 queens on, but the king is safer. Let's start with... Well, if I move something here... this is complicated. This king's already out. Go ahead and move the rook over. He takes 1, I'll take back. And I push. It really does. I can potentially expose the king here. Yeah, push this pawn. These pawns start getting traded off. This king is weak. There's no queens on this board. They left the building, and I got 2. So I think that's good. Could be wrong. I kind of want to sack the pawn just to expose the king. Those 2 queens. He has got 2 queens on the back row, but they ain't doing anything. Let's do it. Let's sack a pawn. See what happens. Check for him. Or is it mate? No, just check. He's in check on 1 board, and it's his move on all the boards, but he won't move. I think the computer is just programmed to only move on the obligatory boards. I would love to have options, but if he doesn't move, it's never my move on those boards. Maybe that's actually better. You don't want to create a future and so far in the future because you don't know what the other boards are going to catch up to it. It's going to change everything. Boom, boom, boom. Let's just see what happened. He took the pawn in, as I said. So it was his only move. Unless he could send a piece. He developed the bishop. And he took the pawn here. I'm going to take pawn. He didn't take my knight. He didn't take my rook. Move up and threaten the knight. See, I haven't done any through time ones, but they're all caught up, and I'll consider more for this one. I don't want to send the queen back. We'll threaten the bishop. See what he does. Didn't change any timelines. But it's his move on 4 boards. 6 boards, technically. Come on, I want these alternate... You go back in the past. I go back in the past, and it doesn't mean anything unless he goes back. Yeah, I've been sending more in the past than he has. Parallel. You can take my knight. You can take my knight on this one. I'm not thinking about traveling through dimensions, because traveling through dimensions still creates another timeline, and it gets messier. I guess the more you just play regular chess, the less messy it gets. Yep, you took the knight like I suspected. Woo! Okay, let's analyze all 4 games. Okay. You took the knight. I'll probably take back. You took the knight, but I can't take back on this one. He retreated. And he pushed pawn up. Now, if I can drop a queen down in there, it's checkmate. Unless you can set... And I think it's checkmate because you're attacking kings on other timelines, too. It still gets confusing about checks and checkmates. Like this queen, for example. Select it. History view. Parallel view. Look where that queen can go. I'm pretty sure I can attack something. No checks, it looks like. Oh, what about the other queen? Different diagonals. Hmm. I want to start attacking. I can move the knight up check. Does that attack other... How that works? Knight up check. Okay. I don't see his... I'm not really... It's hard to see his own piece. I can't really visualize his own pieces if he can send something back in time. It's kind of like luck. Usually in regular chess, you can... you want to see your opponent's moves and if they can fight back, but it's just... I wish they would allow you to choose your opponent's... Basically, the equivalent. Select your opponent's pieces, see where they can move using the arrows. Check on that board. So if you can attack 2 kings at once, it's like usually checkmate. Can I attack the same king? Double check. He'll just set the king back in time there. But I should learn how to do it with parallel. So I want to see all the boards for context. Okay. So check. This rook can't go diagonal, so I can't get to... I don't have any... Oh, I don't have any bishops to go diagonal up here. I could send something... 2 queens here. King is kind of exposed. Knight moves up, attack and threatening. Knight moves up, threatening to attack the pawn. Check. I don't know, I'm going for kings. See what happens. Can I check the king through time? I want to get to that square with like a queen, but I'm a little confused. Oh, okay. I haven't made that move yet, so okay, that makes me realize something. I made a move here, but I haven't submitted it yet. It just tells you what it's gonna look like. This move does not exist yet, so I can't send pieces to an imaginary board because that hasn't been submitted yet. But I'll just go ahead and attack the knight. Deselect. It'll catch up to this one too. I don't have a queen on this board. Is that the one where I sent her back in time and she died? So take the knight. Let's do this. He's in check on this one. I wanted to do a double check. I hope I didn't overlook one. So we got 4 timelines. And no one's top. Oh yeah, he top dimensions once. You have dimensions creates. Oh, that's crazy. Maybe I should go back in time for far, far back, so we can start playing on these boards. I mean, I wanted to play on this board a while back, or my 3 knights board. 3 knights, king exposed. Ah. You move the king. What the? You move the king more in the center. This is not a good chess player. This computer skill level. Queen up. Queen up. Check. Win the bishop too. Can I check him again? I want to plan check. I want to learn how to plan checkmates. Ooh, mate. I did a mate in 1 or a mate in 2. I don't want to do it by accident. Win check. Well, if I check him here, he eats the knight, but his king is going to be in the center, and I'm just going to start teleporting pieces to a king in the center. So that's my plan anyway. This knight moves here, and he's pretty well. He's kind of secure on this one. Can I send something to it? He didn't. Okay, he didn't even attempt to stop this. So I'm just going to take this as a check. So but it's on the present time. He's in check on this. He will be on check on this. He'll be a check on 2 boards, but it's his move on both, and he'll just move the king or teleport. The thing is, if you teleport a king, then if you teleport a king, then you have 2 kings on 1 board. I think that makes it easier to attack. But if that's your only option. Okay. Not much doing this one. I don't have a lot of pieces, so I gotta be careful about my king safety. This one's I think I just need to keep the king safe on this one. Or I could just sack pawns to open up the king a little bit. Oh, with this knight. I'm gonna push the pawn up just to open up stuff. And this is a similar position. You'll see similar positions as these alternate timelines may only have had 1 piece. It's a 1-piece difference, but the rest of the pieces are in the set. You'll see similar. Like, I think I did this before on a different board. It's only slightly different each time. I'm just gonna go. All right. Woo! He's in check on 2 boards. So let's see what he does. 2 different kings are in check. I'm kind of curious, like if I do like parallel view, this knight that's checking, I guess I'm not checking any other king. Like 1 over in time, and then a back 2 or something. This king. Or the fact that knights can go in, 8, they have tentacles essentially. They're short arms. Going like 1, 2, and over 1. I might have checkmate. If that pawn, he's probably gonna do something. Yeah, he's gonna take it. Well, it's all pretty and even, except for these 2 over here. This diagonal is exposed now. Oh, if I could teleport a queen or something or a bishop. I don't know. My bishops died. I only have bishops in the past. They died early on. Teleport a queen. Okay, he moved the king. He didn't even take the knight. But he's still pretty exposed. Ooh. Curious about this knight. Like, where can this knight go? I like it here, but it's not supported. So he's threatening to take a next move. So if I see where it can go. I want it to be a check in the past. Yeah. Oh! No, his queen's there. Yeah, this knight could go up to 1 in the past, take check. But then the queen on the new timeline will take it. Ah, so hard. Can this rook go anywhere? Those knights are good for short range attacks, and queens are good for long range attacks, even through time. And the rooks and the bishops kind of don't. They kind of stay within the two-dimensional chess. Because rooks can only go. Come on, some kind of attack. The second queen. Yeah. Oh no, the bishop's there. Alright, on this one, I'm just gonna eat the. I'm gonna eat the bishop. Okay. Take to expose. I want to get this fortress out of knight up here. King can take, but he's centralized. I could do a queen up here to support the queen. Queen here diagonally to support the knight so he doesn't take it. Pawn up check. Alright, let's try this. Some check on 2 boards. Right? Why is he in check? I'm not sure. Oh, see, I didn't attack him on this board, but when you create the new plane, some other piece might be. Why is he in check on this board? I'm not sure why. I want to visualize which piece is attacking him now that the planes are created. Can you attack in the future? That's why I'm not sure. There's something over here diagonally. Well, wait, something's going on here. Oh, he sacks. He sacks a piece, and I'm in check now. But he sacks. Okay. Take pawn check. Take rook check because there's not much going on. He ignored this. Take pawn check. His kings are exposed on almost all It's not looking good. Unless he can do a surprise mate on me, like in the past somehow. I got a feeling I'm going to win this. Somehow. Oh. The problem is these surprise mates just sneak up on you. So, on this board, queen check. It's hard to see if he could just kill it through other dimensions. That's where I can't visualize. I can't visualize his pieces killing me because I can't see where his pieces can go through. I could do queen up, like queen to e5 check. But it's got pawns blocking. I think it's fine. Or bring the rook up check so I can get the other rook into play. Let's do it. Checks on all. Checks on 3 out of 4. Come on, no checkmate yet. He has to move 3 out of those kings out of check. Maybe he'll try and attack me on. I don't know why he sacrificed his rook on this bottom one. He's pretty exposed on this one. 2 queens I have. It's not looking good for him on either 4 of these timelines. Will he delay the inevitable if he realizes he's getting screwed? Just go back in time, shift the present bar all the way back. That's what delays the game. So I wonder if the computer really has to think because there's so many moves. Ah! Yep, he did it. He went back. Or he moved on an optional board. He didn't move. Oh. I think, yeah, the computer is in big trouble. He moved on 1. What did he do? He moved a knight back in time? No, he had a knight he had a knight kill my knight back in time. But wait a minute. Where's the alternate? Oh, it's all the way up here. And then the alternate timeline goes all the way up here. So, his knight just disappears. His king is even more exposed on this one. He decided not to... That automatically shifted the timeline. Now he didn't have to move on these 3 yet until next move. The three boards, he's still in check on all 3 of these, but now these 3 boards are in the future. And look where the present is, all the way back here. This is where it gets like, oh my god, like I think I had him, and then he just goes back in time. Delaying the inevitable, Morty. That's brilliant. Can I double attack him now? Because this board... If I pick, let's pick a queen. Oh, those don't exist yet. Or those are his boards. Yes, I can go. He's in... I'm confused. Because when you do these modes, it gets rid of the black boards. And then these 3 black boards don't exist yet. Can I not go into the future? Maybe you can't go in the future. Because if I... Look. You're right. Yep. That's the rule. You can go back in time, but you can't go forward in time? I thought I saw that in my last game. Because look, if I want to send any piece, all the future boards get blurred out. Like it won't let you go to the future. Or because those are his boards. But no, look, this one's a white board, it's my move, but it's in the future. I don't understand. Alright, well, his knight vanished, but I'm going to do the same thing on both boards. But that's my move on this present all the way in the back. And he just sacked a piece for a pawn. Yeah, it wasn't a good move, but maybe he's just delaying the inevitable. Maybe he can't get out of those checks. Maybe that's the thing though. The check. Maybe it's technically checkmate all the way over there. and the only way for him to delay the checkmate is to go back in time, and we play it out. We play these boards out. They're going to merge with the rest. And if he can't checkmate me along the way, maybe I have him. I'm not sure why exactly, but maybe I have him in checkmate over here with these 3 boards in check. Maybe. I'm not sure. So let's just... I got him move on this board. He sacked a piece just to go back in time. I will mess with time. Take with a knight. Alright. He's moving on a lot of boards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But the present bar is over here. He's only obliged to move on 1. I think it's nice to further your attack. Like, if it's in the future, like this, and it can't be touched for a while until other timelines can catch up, you can kind of just do 2D chess. Well, that's the thing. Your opponent doesn't have to move back. If you're dominating on a board, on a 2D board, and it's in the future, or they don't have to respond back immediately, and eventually it'll catch up, and maybe the attack will work. Why does the computer need to think so long? Do you think it's calculating billions and trillions of moves across all time? This is the longest computers had to think. Because the computer is thinking about which boards to play on. If he's going to move all, then it's calculating 7 games at once and all the possible places to travel back in time to. So you can't... Oh! What just happened? He checked me. Wait a minute. Bishop takes pawn, and it's check, but not on that board. Where is it check? Oh, fuck. Says it's not mate, because I can kill the piece. If you can kill a piece, it just eliminates all the forks. So this bishop... Undo move. I gotta memorize it, though. It's checking this because of... Bishops are hard to conceive. Let's go... Yeah, the bishop's here now. And diagonally down attacking. But if I just kill it, it should be fine. Just kill it. Yeah. And that seemed to solve all the red. No red appeared. The bishop's gone. That's the only one I can move on. Alright, he's going to move on 2 boards. See, all these boards now become... They're still the past, but you can... Now they can travel through dimensions and... Go all the way back to the beginning. It's crazy. So I still don't fully understand every single rule. I need to watch more videos. And I thought this game would be a little shorter, just because I wasn't going to explain the rules, but it's getting quite complex. I think it's what happened when I won in my first game, my first video, is I checkmated him, and the only technical way out of checkmate was just to go back in time and play on different boards, delaying the inevitable. If he's screwed over here, then when the present bar catches up, I just win. That's what happened. That's what happened in the first game. But do I have them mated? If you look at the parallel view, I mean, 1, 2, 3 kings under attack. But he can move. He can move them all. At least the computer lets you know, like, so if he's trying to move, just so you can check in the past because that's what he did when he oh, what did he do? He checked me. When he moved that bishop as a sacrifice, it checked me in the past. It wasn't check on the new board, but it was check from the old board, but I just killed it. Okay, here, queen in the corner, and it's check. Okay, looks like it's only one way, which is nice. It does expose the king to sacrifice pieces, and then knowing you can just bring back pieces later. So that's a strategy. Just push pawn. Or do I block? I can block with the queen. Parallel. Okay. If I block with the queen, you might want to trade queens. Let's just do it. So we resolved one of our two of the three back ones. We got this one met up to the present. It's parallel now. This one's still a dead end. If we trying to figure out how that works, because we started just playing on this board, and why was he not obliged to move on this one when the present bar was hovering over here? I'm not sure why he wasn't obliged to move on this. Send some comments if you can, if you got any insights for me. Okay, the thinking on the computer, I didn't think computers thought. So it's like all this is the future now. Everything we've done that was, and you can't. The whole like you can't change the past. You can't change the past though, because even though it becomes parallel, you can travel. You can always travel to the past, whether it's the past and another dimension, like past in the same timeline, or you cross dimensions. It just creates a new timeline. Oh, come on already. You're a supercomputer. Oh, boy. What have you done? Okay, so now he's playing with that queen on this board. Got the queen on... This is the board where I'm actually most... He moved it to the board where I don't have much. So he's kind of... He's trying to start doing some stuff before it gets to these boards where he's going to have to deal with these kings. So it's my move on two boards now. One in the future, one in the past. But I don't have to... Or on the present, I mean. He's trying to send support. I don't know. I don't have many pieces on this board. If I send something... Ooh, wait, no. Rooks, queens... Pawn check. I want to get the knights involved. Or I'm going to push pawn, then push pawn again like I did in the other ones. Okay. I haven't sent a piece back in a while because I have gold. I have gold in many timelines. Just making more timelines just... I think if you're going to have a plan. These games can be quite long. Not as long as a regular... Well, the thing about a regular 2D chess game is those games can last super long because the players just take a lot of time considering their moves. I'm taking, what, a few minutes per move. And hopefully this video can be within an hour 15 like the first game. But the computer didn't have to think this much. Oh, come on, computer. Be better. Or faster. Guess I could analyze my... It's hard enough analyzing what your moves should be, but... See, I'm not sure why he chose that. He checks me again, but he's sacrificing pieces. Oh. So yeah, by moving here, it's the check. This is his move. Well, I'm not sure why it moves over. I forget that his... Me clicking on this, why is that my move? It's not my move, but it tells you what the board would be and why it's check. And... Okay. It's letting you know it's check for two reasons. Because it's check on this board because it's obvious in regular chess. But it's check on this because whatever move I make on this board, other than killing the queen, which is what I'm going to do, but other than if I don't kill the queen, that's where it gives you the perspective. It just gives you a copy of the board, like if you do. It's a copy of the board, like if you were able to do nothing, what would the position be? You can't do nothing as your move, but it's letting you know. Okay, it's doing nothing creates this plane, and you look at the history. This queen is attacking here and attacking there. Why is it not attacking other ones like in parallel? I'm gonna kill it. So knight. I don't want to expose my king in the middle, so knight takes, and knight takes check. He's not doing too good. Now now that the knight's out of the way on this board, the queen can come out check too. If he moves back, my queen can come out check attack. And I think if it attacks a board in the past too, it's just mate, I believe. Yeah, I think I'm gonna win soon. If he just doesn't take forever to move, I feel like he's thinking longer than I'm thinking, and he's a computer. I'll play on aggressive. If I win, I'll play on the aggressive, which is the hardest difficulty. Hopefully that'll teach me how to properly play. These games have just been kind of training, but not playing on the trainer mode. The trainer mode, the computer just makes random moves, so you can just play the game and see what happens. And then I did normal, which was still kind of easy for me. And then this one's on the aggressive. No, it's on strong. It says strong but balanced. Oh boy. I forget it's my move over here on this one. This one's going to catch up to the present soon. In one move or so. I'll have to move on this board anyway. So. And I'm curious why White left a space. Why is it? It came from here, but why is it up this high and not down here? I'm not sure. I really don't know. Not much I can do on this board. This is the board where he's going to start attacking. But if he's going to start attacking, that's why I'm kind of delaying it. I'm going for him over here. Because I've already gone for him, but does he just keep going in the past? I'm going to figure that out. Once I play the aggressive, when he starts attacking me, I need to learn how to get out of checks and everything. Okay, here he moved back. Queen here, check. See, I'm curious if that queen check, it's also text another queen in the past. So, not much I can do on this board. It's not a great board. Maybe I need to worry about defense here. My king is a little exposed. You can move the bishop here, move the bishop there. Just kind of. Although I'm only thinking about one plane. I'm gonna do it. Going all the way the fuck back. Jesus. What did you do? What did you do? So, too much going on. He's pretty exposed here now. I got two queens, and he keeps moving. He moves a bishop into the past to kill my knight, creating another timeline on the same move. Now these are kind of touching to interdimensional. Did he tell? He doesn't have a king. His king teleported. Back a move. Creates a new timeline. He's gonna have two kings on one board now. And it's my move on that board. And I don't have a queen on that board yet, but once it catches up here, two queens over here. It's my move here, but I don't have to do this yet. You know what? This is checkmate on one board. That is checkmate on the two-dimensional. But it's in the future still. Not that far in the future. I have to move on this one. So I have a two-dimensional checkmate here. And that king, can that king go back in time? Unless I'm forking I feel like when you attack the king that close, and there's gonna be other kings in other dimensions really close, and it's like a, unless that queen can be killed. But I also have another queen backing up to replace it. So I think I'm about to win soon. Two kings on this board. I don't have much. Get the bishop out. He never did take it back in this one. I'm gonna retreat it. Let's do it. Yep, I won. And it's just hard to tell why exactly. But not even mate on this board. Where's the red dot? All the way down here. I haven't made. Let's see. This is checkmate. Okay. This here check. also is checking a king in the past. Looking at the, which I didn't really process, but you just if you can attack in 2D, you're probably attacking in 3D somewhere. A little luck because I can't really visualize it, but because this one can go, these black ones don't exist, so it's just 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's checking this king too because it's look at the history view. Okay, go here, then here. Wait, does it show? Oh, it does show the blackboards. Okay, so it's not. Yeah, when you click on a piece, it doesn't show the blackboards. So here, ignore the blackboard. Now here, ignore the blackboard. Check. Check in the past. Check on two. So basically, yeah, you check in the past, and it's over essentially. Except he killed me. Remember when I went checked in the past, but I was directly touching the king? The king just killed me and it wasn't checkmate. I still want to fully understand. I understand that I'm double attacking the king, but I still want to fully understand why I won. This is a check. And if the king moves anywhere, he gets out of check, creates an alternate timeline somewhere. It's still a little confusing. I'm glad I won, but I know you can't. I know he can't move his king in the past. He would have to kill that queen somehow. He can teleport. Yeah, I guess he can save this king by teleportation. He can't save a king in the past. Okay. So, okay, I think I have a semi... You can check in the past, but if you send a piece... Yeah, if you send a piece to the board... If you're checking in the past by sending the board... Okay, my point being, you send a piece back in time and it's check on the two-dimensional board, like a regular check. Then it's a new timeline. They can just play the game and get out of check normally, to my understanding. But since this is a... Yes, okay. This is a check through time. Okay. This is a check through time. And he can't move the king because there is no alternate timeline to move the king. That's my understanding. Alright, still getting more of a grasp on it. But alright, this is game 2. And I was kind of surprised to checkmate here. I didn't know I was double attacking. I thought, you know, eventually we'll catch up and I'll win over here. Or even over here. I knew he wasn't doing well. And I knew I had good attacking chances. Alright, well, I'm going to end this video and thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Dun, 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 dun.